Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fincopath. This is me, Shubhadeep. I have Arup with me. And of course, we have a guest today, Kathy from
Hi.
Cinemondo Movie Insider Reviews. Kathy,
Yay.
we have been planning this for a long time,
Long
and
time.
we must thank you for making the time out on such a short
Of course.
notice. And
Yes.
this has been long time coming, but finally you're here.
I'm
Thank you
so
so much.
excited. I'm so excited.
Can you tell us
Yes.
a little bit about your discovery of Indian cinema and why did you like fall for it, or what attracted you towards the Indian cinema milieu?
Well, originally we just had the domestic films, the usual. Like we started out with doing movie reviews of American films, British films, things like that. And then we kept getting comments to review Indian films. We kept getting, especially, we got a lot of requests for Bahubali. Lot. Mm-hmm. Like it seems like that's the one everybody knows they're going to watch this and they're going to get hooked. And sure enough, it worked because I was like, oh, fine. It's two movies. They're both 3 hours long. I'm going to watch these movies. I was blown away. Like I didn't know what I expected, but I didn't expect it to be so funny and so epic and beautiful and polished. Like I don't know what I thought it was going to be, but also Rajamouli. he's very unique. So that was like, I want to see more. So then people started, requesting like War. Oddly, I think they thought Hrithik Roshan. Who doesn't love him? I'm one of them. I love him. So I watched that and I was like, holy crap, this is like so slick and the effects are amazing. And so then as you're going into it and you start reviewing them, people start bringing you even more challenging or less, known films. And then the more I did it, the more I just was like, I got to see more. Give me more. Like I want to know all the best ones. And I still feel like I have so much catching up to do. And then also, I think the best part is that the people are so great. I love the people commenting. They're all really helpful and they seem really appreciative. And I just love the fandom. It's so passionate, so I love that. I think that's probably one of the best things is how passionate the Indian audience is. Oh, love that. Because I'm a total obsessed nerd about movies. It's clearly, it's like I'm talking movies. It's all I want to talk about. It's what I am. Like I love it. I moved to Hollywood, do movie posters. It's like, it's what I love. So I love that there's people out there like that because I feel like American audiences can be kind of jaded. They want to be kind of above it, like, oh, it's like, you like that? Well, but I love that Indian audiences just want to appreciate the fact that people outside their country also like these films. So I really love that. That's the basics.
I'm glad you talked about Bahubali because, of course, Rajamouli is like one of the bigger names in Indian cinema. And I just out of curiosity, how was RRR for you when you watched RRR for the first time?
Absolutely blown away. Like could not believe and I love it too because this one was kind of unique because we were starting getting into the Indian films. And so people were requesting RR. And at that point we were seeing teasers. Nobody really knew what it was going to be. So we got to kind of grow with the promotion to see the actual film. No one had seen it yet. It was sort of the way to see it. Right. So we didn't know what to expect. So we're moving into it. And what's so funny about the movie, first of all, we saw it at Universal, the amphitheater, not amphitheater, the IMAX, Universal, huge, massive, comfortable theater with big reclining seats. And it was just such a great experience. And then, of course, the Natu dance. Mm-hmm. I mean, all you want to do is see that over and over. So we get out and I cannot dance at all. And so I get out and we do this little on the scene review. Yeah. And you go, I'm going to do the Natu dance. I do the super dorky, terrible dance, and that ends up being played at this Directors Guild Awards or something as part of the people dancing. Now, I want to remind people, not only was I terrible, but it's like, it was cute, cute. I guess I had an RR shirt on. I am a nerd. I'm admitting it. But everybody else got to practice in theirs where they're all perfect and they're wearing the suspenders and looking good. And then they throw me in there who's doing it from memory after seeing it once. Come on. So that's my big claim to fame when it comes to R. But I love that film. I recommend it to everyone. I went to the special event that was downtown LA when they had Prabhas was there. Not Prabhas. Ron. Hold on. I get all excited when they had the actors. They had Rajamouli was there. We had NTR. Ram was there, and the music. Ramen, and who else was there? So we got to see all these people in this huge, massive theater, and it was mostly American audience there. There were Indian people there, but they were all cheering at the right moments. So you got to have that great experience of the full theater. But everybody was so in love with that movie when we saw it. And when you leave, everybody's talking to each other, strangers going, "Oh my God, that was so good." And they just want to talk to you. Like, it was such a great, like, kind of communal experience to see this film. I just loved it. Loved it.
And I'm really excited. I'm
Me
really excited
too.
for today because we are going to discuss our favorite movies of 2024 up till now, favorite Indian movies of 2024, right?
Okay.
And nobody better than to discuss it with you because Kathy has seen almost all the movies which have come out
I
this year.
see all films in existence. Yes.
That is
I've seen
that is why we have you, and we are excited.
I'm very excited. I love best ofs. I love it. And I find it really hard too at the same time. And especially if it's a countdown, like trying to go to 1, which I don't know if we necessarily have to do, 10 to 1 or 5 to 1 or whatever. It's so hard to pick. And it changes every day.
We don't want to offend any of our subscriber bases. So we are not going to go from 10 to 1. We are going to be like, okay, yeah, this is also good. This is also good. So we are going to be very diplomatic and politically correct. So no
we will do that. We will do that at the end of the year, not now.
That's be there. I call it, when people get mad, it's called engagement. They post comments, so you get a lot of comments, you get to talk to them about it, but we do love to hear everyone's thoughts. Like, I love it. I know how movie fans are, and I'm one of them. We're super passionate about it. We all have our favorites and how we feel about it. So I love talking to me, even disagreeing with people on their favorite movies or how they feel about it. I still just love that. So feel free to post all of your insults on this channel. Go ahead. Give them all the negative comments you can think of.
Yes. Okay. I think that will work out well in the end, Kathy, because any engagement is good engagement. I do not care at the moment. Right. And thank you for making us so fearless about this. So
that's right. It's okay. Just movies.
Let's start with yours. Maybe just explain one and why. Why do you like that?
I have to say Aavesham because I love Fahad Fawcett.
Yes,
I loved Ramayagam. I think this filmmaker is a huge talent. And that movie was so consistently great. It gave this guy, and Fahad Fawcett brought a lot of context to this character. I love how he brought a lot of like human emotion to a character. It was almost cartoonish at first. He comes in, he's got all the white, he's got the crazy styling, like the great mustache and the glasses, and he just looks so fun. And he has everything about him was super flamboyant and exciting. But as the movie goes on, you start seeing like kind of the armor that is, and they don't overplay it. Like, he is technically a bad guy, but you understand where he's coming from. I thought that was absolutely spectacular. Everything about it, the staging, the cinematography, choreography. I love the young kids in his thrall, and how they get in over their heads. Just loved this movie.
I want to just jump into this first. My favorite scene of the movie before any of you says it, the dumb charade scene. So that is where I'm going to go, and which is so weird because Fahad, he's like one of the best actors now. You can say the best actor now. To be like, few people will be angry, but we discussed that.
Go ahead,
you can say
be angry.
He's currently the best actor in India, and then he has to play a bad actor.
Yes.
And explain a movie.
I love
it. And it is so hilarious with the background of the way he keeps on getting angry, and those children keep on saying different names.
Yes.
Finally, they get that name correct. That is one of the hilarious and most potent scenes I have seen.
So good. It was so good.
I think, Kathy, you have touched that point very well. We said that in the review as well, that it feels just like a comedy to a lot of people, but it's so much more. I mean, that there's this pathos inside this character, right, Ranga? Yeah. He keeps on saying, no one even likes my Instagram posts during the climax. I mean, that's so much to talk about the generation we are living with, right? I mean, we are all about that validation. We are all about, who likes us. And this guy is just crazy about being loved, being validated, being cared about, which no one is doing, even if he is at the top of the power game. That's so amazing subtext that they put in the movie. Brilliant movie. Loved it.
About talking about that Instagram reel, so the Fahad's reel went viral. You see the one with the front when he came in on this side and that side of a pole, and he was exhibiting different emotions. So everybody was making videos on that. So I mean, if any of you guys have made those videos or want to make those, do that. Tag us, and we'll comment on how good you were in those.
We'll see.
Videos.
We'll see. I think I have to throw the towel dancing scene. I think was my favorite because it's like you just don't expect it from him. Number one, and I just love that he just comes out and it's just so joyous in such a fun, weird way. So I loved that scene too because I'd never seen Todd Fossil do anything like that.
Yeah.
So that was really fun to me. I enjoyed that because he was kind of pushing the limits, and I thought he was really having fun with the role. So. Really, really impressed by this movie, and again, Ramesham, so good.
Yes. I think I also love the fight sequences whenever they had, and I think Arup talked about it in his reviews that there was the senior guy who used to rag them, and like he's a short guy, and his aura almost instantly disappears after Ranga comes in, and you feel sorry for that guy. So I mean, it's
think about what they're fighting about. I mean, this all thing is fighting about. He has stolen his image. Yeah, I mean, again, coming to that subtext of, validation and images, the way the generation works today, it's all about what's in virtual.
That's right.
These two people, two adults fighting over that white shirt about an image that has been stolen.
Yes.
That's so fun.
It's so fun. And I like, too, the pacing of where basically Todd Fossil's character is barking out orders. He has his kind of flunkies. He has the people he's with who do all the heavy lifting, like the muscle guy, the young guy who's super fast. Yeah. He has like the people and the older, love the older character who was the total badass. So I really liked how they you weren't even sure at that point, is he a fraud? Like, can he even fight? Like at this point, you weren't even sure. So kind of when it comes down to it and he has to do it, you're like, oh, okay. So he can. All right. So I enjoyed that they kind of kept that back because you weren't sure, like if everybody was just following him because he convinced them he was somebody, hot shit. So I enjoyed that.
Yeah, of course. That was, I had the same doubt really till I saw him fight in the last scene.
You're like, is it going to work? And it did.
It did, yes.
Yes.
Arup, I come to you now for one of your favorite films.
Let's hear it.
I think the first film that I have watched this year was Merry Christmas by Sriram Raghavan. Just loved it. Loved it.
I forgot about that. That was so good.
That was so good. I mean, I watched the Hindi one first and then I watched Tamil. But both versions were a bit different in the way director Raghavan, projects the characters. And they are so good. I mean, Vijay Sethupathi is a massive talent and he's so good. Even Katrina Kaif. I mean, I did not expect her performance to be so mature, which is in this movie. The climax, it broke my heart, the way the climax is set up and the way the film flows. I mean, I would rate this film even better than Andhadhun, actually. Andhadhun is much celebrated. Unfortunately, Merry Christmas did not have a good box office success, but the screenplay, the way it connects, the way these two characters who have their own baggage of pain and being betrayed in love and all of that, they come together, and then the chemistry that slowly builds up with the most oddest couple that can be, Vijay Sethupathi and Katrina Kaif. I mean, there cannot be an odder couple, I guess. It was so good. It was so good. It was such a great start to watching films in this year.
Yes, it was. I think that movie suffered from bad marketing because because the title was confusing. They had this great kind of heisty kind of vibe to the movie, and I feel like it came out after Christmas, and so everyone's like, I don't need to see this movie. So it was kind of confusing. I think the timing of the release and then trying to hinge it too much on Christmas, even though it was during Christmas. I think they lost the fun of the weird switcheroo idea of the heist, the relationship. Can you trust her? Can he trust, who's the bad guy? Who's the good guy? What's happening? So they didn't really sell that through. So I saw it because I love him, Vijay Sethupathi. So he's so great. And so I'm seeing anything he's in. But when I saw it, I went, this movie is not what I expected. And it was way better than I thought it was going to be. So I think that's where they kind of lost people just in that.
I think so. I think after Andhadhun, they went with a very different expectation. It comes at a very different tonality of this movie. I mean, it is not a mass view. It's of course a niche view. But even for that niche audience, I guess we were expecting something else, but it turned out to be something else which people were not prepared for. As you say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I also really enjoyed watching Merry Christmas. I think it is easily one of my favorite films. One of the things which I like about of this film is the way it moves. There's this word in Hindi called "therao," or would know,
Hmm.
and it goes at a pace which makes you enjoy every frame or
Right.
composition, the colors, right, the interactions, each of these, you truly appreciate the movie as a whole. And I do not think we make too many movies like this anymore. It is something
Yeah.
of a movie which
Yeah.
which probably of some belongs to some bygone era, because it is
Yeah.
the
Good point.
things are quite subtle in here, and the
Mhm.
revelations are also not going to blow your mind in ways which you expect in this kind of a setup. Like we were talking about
Yeah.
Aavesham, like things are moving like this, like
Oh, yeah.
it's fine. But here you have to give yourself a chance to enjoy the movie, and you
Yeah.
have to look into, I would guess, more into the emotions of the people who are making that. Look into the
Yeah.
ways the shots are being created, the craft of the entire filmmaking
Mhm.
comes out very nicely. But you have to
Yes.
you have to be patient. You won't have
Yeah.
instant
Yeah.
gratification. That is
Yeah.
not going to happen
Yes.
with this film.
No.
So I think that's where probably it wasn't so popular. But whoever has not watched it, watching this podcast, guys, Merry Christmas is the deal. It's the real deal. You
Yes.
should go and watch it.
And
Yeah.
Christmas is kind of beside the point. So don't worry that you're seeing it not during Christmas. A lot of people want to see
Yeah.
stuff during Christmas. It's not that. And I do feel like the twist that makes this movie so compelling kind of comes a little late. So by the time it happens, you're like, what? Like it was super great, but you're kind of like not expecting it. But I'll just live for just that dance scene in the opening scene when they go up to her apartment and they're dancing. That's the cutest thing I've ever
Yeah.
seen.
So
So
cute.
cute.
Yes.
Just seeing him
Absolutely.
dance with her. So, so funny. I love that. It had
Right.
it had genuinely cute romantic moments in it, even though it was
It
not
did.
necessarily a
It did.
romantic movie. Yeah.
It did. It did. I think it was one of the love stories I really enjoyed. It was not to be, but it was really
A
nice.
very different love
Exactly.
story.
Yeah.
Very different. Yes. All right.
Is it my turn? Okay, it's my
It's
turn.
your
All right,
turn.
guys.
It's so hard. Okay.
So, what I'm going to bring up is Laapataa Ladies. Have you guys watched Laapataa
Yeah.
Ladies?
I don't know if I have.
Oh, okay. So, well,
Okay, I'm gonna put that
it's
on
a
my list now.
it's on Netflix, Kathy, and so it's a very interesting movie where it tells the story of the early '90s. Is it Arup? For early
I think
'90s
so.
or early
Yeah.
'80s, something like that,
Something.
where it's a story of basically two women who is a question of like mistaken identity, and a woman ends up in a village where she's supposed to be married to some other person.
Oh,
So, and the brides kind of get exchanged, not exchanged. One of the brides get lost, and the other one is in the village. But that's like the overall plot.
strange.
The bride's
The
getting
central,
switched
yeah,
as well.
not
The brides
not kind
get
of switched.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
so
they
you
do.
know in Indian villages you have your sari worn in such a way that your face will not be revealed. That's the custom
Okay, so
in
it's
very
pretty easy
remote
to do.
villages. And that was a day of wedding, and there's like at least 10 couples in the train, all wearing red saris with the saris covering their face. And there's this groom who holds one of the other brides and takes her down. And that bride also has some intentions, which we'll come to understand late. And then there's a switch. The actual bride is lost somewhere, and this lady
Somewhere.
has come with the other groom, and trying to have an agenda of her. And there's some mystery, there's some thrills, there's pure fun, a lot of great set pieces. You will enjoy that a lot. It's on Netflix, at
Yes.
least in India.
Oh,
It's on
yeah.
Netflix.
Yes.
Do give it a
Okay.
watch. It's great.
Yeah,
What's-
definitely will. Wow.
What's
Okay.
great about it is like it's not it doesn't want to be a movie which is like self-indulgent or wants to talk about woman empowerment. It comes out very organically in the film.
Oh, good.
So yeah, there are films which you see which you feel, okay, yeah, I know what you're trying to do. It's like
Yeah.
you want to be this, but you're clearly not. But Laapataa Ladies is not one of those films. So
That's a
where
very good
you-
point.
yeah, where you can see that, okay, how the world is for village women in India,
Yeah.
the young village women who got married at an early age, and how they see the world, and how they have their dreams and aspirations, and to the extent they have to go to
Oh.
realize them. So it's directed by Kiran Rao, who is I don't know whether you know it or not.
Amir Khan's
Ex-wife.
ex-wife. Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so it is one of those
And
movies.
it's also in the name. So say Laapataa Ladies would translate to Lost Ladies.
Missing link.
Oh, okay.
Which is about the premise of the film, but then later you realize
Alright.
it's also about ladies who have lost their identities.
Yes, they're
in the Indian
lost.
context.
Yes. Oh,
Yes.
that
So
sounds really good.
it's a beautiful film.
Yeah,
I love
it is,
that. And you're right.
Again,
You can
again,
be
a film-
preached at and you don't like it. Like I love female empowerment. Like I love this.
Yeah.
What I'm loving about this year is about female empowerment in a way, or not having provenance over your own identity or destiny or whatever. It is a fine line of being preached to, where you're like, yeah, okay, yeah, women are treated badly, but it's like when it happens, when you're just seeing the story play out and you see these women having the choices they make, that's when you realize the heartbreak of what's happening, and that's why I like that. Like women need more control over their own lives. Somehow that seems unfair, and yes. Continue.
No, you're right. You're
Your
right.
turn.
And also, I think it has got. Yeah, let's move to Kathy. Before that, I'd like to mention one tidbit for our audience. So it has got Chaya Kadam in it. Her name is Chaya Kadam, right?
Yes.
Who plays one of the vendors in the film, who was also in the
All we imagine is like.
All We Imagine Is Light, the Cannes winner from Payal Kapadia's movies. So, so some great work from her this year. Actually,
Wow.
we saw her in this, and she was also good in that one particular Hindi
Madgaon
movie,
Express.
the Madgaon Express. Yes,
Oh,
she played.
yeah. Okay.
She was the one, the leader of the woman comedy gang, I think, Kanchan Comedy. So,
Oh, no.
so yeah,
so
she
funny.
was. It is her year. So if you want to see her, she's awesome.
She's so good. Yeah.
Definitely. I'm definitely watching that. It's easy to get to. It's on Netflix, you said. I haven't seen it. And you're raving. Okay. My movie, Bramayugam. Mammootty, probably the coolest thing I've ever seen him in. And I've been catching up with Mammootty, but I thought that movie was so gorgeous, so creepy. I love how they kept it really simple and basically in one locale, but they did a really great job of making everything really eerie. Never sure like who exactly you were really supposed to trust or not. Like I thought basically it's Mammootty's movie. He just totally ran with that. I loved it. He leaned into the whole weirdness of it, his whole weird affect and the design and everything. I just thought it was just, it reminded me of some old like Hollywood, Nosferatu and like that old glamorous kind of black and white horror movie vibe that I thought they really captured. I thought that was so well done, so well crafted. Loved it.
The camera work was so gorgeous. Camera work was so gorgeous, so gorgeous.
So
it's beautiful, yeah. I mean, the black and white really shines.
Oh, and it's just unusual to see a film go out as black and white. And not only was it black and white, they promote. This sounds really counterintuitive, but it's really hard in Los Angeles or Hollywood to get a poster out that's black and white. Number one. Then, even if the movie is black and white, they're afraid to show a poster that's black and white. And in fact, so much so that when I saw my movie theater that was showing it, the thumbnail they have for it was in color. And I'm like, so they don't want people, say some reason there's sort of this like prejudice in a weird way that if I see it at black and white movie, it's old or something. Like nobody wants to see it. So I loved the poster design. I interviewed actually the movie poster designer who did it a while back. So it's fun to hear like his experience of like Mammootty's very hands-on to the marketing. And so he was there at the shoot. He had ideas. He knew what he wanted it to be. And you can tell that was just a beautiful, well-crafted campaign that didn't get the due in America that it needed because everyone's afraid of black and white movies. Just saying.
I mean, what do you say more about Mammootty? I really don't know. This man is taking so difficult roles. I mean, he can just, sleepwalk in roles, which will still get him that opening at the box office, but he will take on challenges. I mean, with each new movie, he's putting himself up to new challenges and coming out with shining colors. I mean, I don't know. I mean, at least for me, he is the best actor India has ever given us. I mean, people might disagree. There will be arguablies and all of that. But at least for me, I have not seen a better actor in India than Mammootty.
Here comes the engagement.
What I hear you saying, Arup, is that Mammootty is better than Laletan. That's what I heard. You said.
Did you say better than Fahad Fasil?
You said Mammootty is better than Fahad Fasil and Mohanlal. That is what you said? Right. That's what I heard.
I'll skip that part and I'll again say, for me, Mammootty is the best actor that I have seen in Indian cinema.
Actor ever.
ever.
Yes.
He just
going
makes it
to
look
be-
effortless, and he
Yeah.
brings like this presence that he doesn't even really have to do anything to just dominate every scene he's in. Like, and you're right. I love how he takes chances. He does the crowd pleasers, and then he'll do the challenging things like this. He did the movie about the gay politician, which I thought was very brave. What was that called?
Kadhal.
Yes, gorgeous
Kadhal.
film.
It's
I
so
thought that
good.
was really cool that he did that. So I admire anybody who's going to take on the challenging kind of indie roles and then also give people their popcorn movies. He's fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yes. There's no doubt about it. I think he's surely one of the finest ever in Indian cinema.
What?
Always
No,
recommend.
wait, hold on. Let's not get carried away. There's a lot of good ones. You know, I saw Kalki recently. We're talking about her boss, right?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fine. We
right.
are ready for it.
Fine.
Yes. Arup. Yes. What is your
Arup.
second pick?
I would pick Lava. It's a lesser watched movie, Lava, a Tamil movie by Prabhu Ram Vyas. I love that film. You know, there are so many movies where it's about a toxic lover, someone
I love
who
those.
is deeply in love with a girl. But the relationship is not working out. He's trying to cling to this relationship with everything he has, but that is turning into toxicity for the girl. And they bring in so much of subtext to the movie. I mean, generally in this movie, the director will take sides, but here he doesn't. Here he also shows the background, you know, what is happening and how this toxicity is coming in this man, as well as how that impacts the lady and how the relationship is kind of fading away from each of them. It's a beautiful, beautiful movie. Again, it's a niche watch. It's not that it's a mass watch or you would have a lot of roar moments or so. But it's such a matured movie making, and it has some great performances. I mean, one of my most favorite performances from this male lead that I have in Lava. Really, really love that film.
Nice. All right, another one for my list that I haven't seen. I love hearing about this.
Please watch it. Would love to know your take on that.
We can then do a review together.
Yeah.
Yes,
Why not? Why not?
Well, Arup, we have talked about this before, and you said that of all the movies, and this is insider information, guys, all the movies which you have watched this year till now, Lover is the topmost, you would say, for you?
I loved it most. Again, I mean, I love Aavesham and I love Merry Christmas and all of them. Yeah. But this is something which I did not expect. When I started the film, it was going in a very different direction, and then it turned on, and then it took us to a juncture where each of you can relate to it. I mean, the toxicity is something which you might have done in your own life with someone in some moments of, you not being at your best. And then you realize what it might be affecting, how it might be affecting the other person. It's a movie which makes you self-realize a lot of things, at least for me.
Nice.
And I really loved it.
All right. That sounds amazing. Definitely watching that.
Okay. Now let's see.
Okay.
But the next film which I'm going to talk about is also a kind of a niche film. It's a small Kannada film, Shivamma. I think it's a limited release. I don't think, Kathy, it is released in the US. I think it's unlikely.
Probably not. Probably not.
Yeah,
very
so
limited.
It's a small town, small village story of, it talks about women empowerment, but not in the conventional way. It is about an elderly woman who tries to take control of her life, and then within that, she's taking some decisions which might not be like, maybe people might judge her for that, or people might say this might not be the right thing to do, but she does them nonetheless because she has to take her
life,
destiny in her life. Yeah, and she's a newcomer. The actor, I forgot her name. She's a newcomer, and this is the first.
She's actually a non-actor. I think what the director did is pick up people from the village itself, and then ask them to get that raw experience that you watch on the screen. It's a beautiful movie. Yes.
And it is backed by Rakshit Shetty, I guess.
Rishabh Shetty.
By Rishabh
Shetty, who did Kantara.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's backed by Rishabh again, and there's another Kannada movie which is like now classic now, which is Tithi, which is also in this style of a documentary style. It's not documentary really, but you can get a feel of the documentary in the way the film is being shot, and you see real people and real behavior. And Shivamma is one of those films which probably will not be talked about as much in mainstream, but definitely, most definitely deserves more attention because of the earnestness with which it is made and the kind of things which it talks about, which are not like real white and black and white, but there are gray areas to it, and you are the one who actually end up judging different people, and then you judge yourself for judging them, basically.
Exactly.
Basically,
as we should. That's right.
I mean, the same thing you spoke about Bramayugam, Mammootty doing a very niche film and then a crowd pleaser. I really love these three Shetties of the Kannada industry, Rakshit, Rishabh, and Raj Shetty. I mean, they will do the crowd pleasers, and they will also be backing all these indie films. Yeah. Like Rishabh is backing Shivamma, and then Ekam. I think I was seeing some reactions in your channel on Ekam.
I was going to bring that up.
That's backed by Rakshit Shetty.
That's right.
Again, a very beautiful anthology film. I mean, I just watched it yesterday. It's beautiful. This balance that they keep on putting together, I mean, really, really, a lot of accolades should come their way for this.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
And they are the ones who are at this helm of this resurgence of Kannada cinema, I would say. Right from when we talked about, I guess, it started from Garuda Gamana, I would say. Before that, it goes to Ulidavadu Kandante. So I think they started this kind of revolution where they back new films, new filmmakers, and they are able to give the kind of support and space which new filmmakers and new actors deserve. So that's why I think Kannada cinema is going to get its due in time. I think we are walking towards really exciting times now.
I mean, anything meaningful coming from Kannada cinema, you will have one of them associated as a producer, as an actor, as just a side character. One of them will be there.
That's right. And I don't know if this is technically 2024, the side A and side B that Elo
Saptasagara.
Love. Oh my God. I love those. I loved side A better. I mean, this isn't my favorite film, but I just want to bring it up because Rakshit Shetty blew me away. And I loved so much of the tenderness in that. But yeah, the side B was just was like no relief at all. In this entire 2 films, did we get any sort of? They didn't let up, but if it's my turn,
yes, it's your turn.
It is always your turn, Kathy. Don't worry.
It's always like I'm just gonna have the whole entire top 10 to myself. I think and this is like the opposite of what we have been talking about right now. Is that I loved Captain Miller. First of all, I love Aaron Matheson. He's become like one of my favorite filmmakers now because I saw Rocky. It sort of in a way, not to the extreme, but reminded me a little bit of Kill, where it's a guy who's just on a mission to kill people. And that was considered the most violent film ever made. The copy that I saw, the print, everything was cut from Rocky. All the violence would happen and it would just disappear. And like, what happened? Like, it was just a weird editing. I guess he got in trouble with censors, and then his second film was also fantastic. So I was very excited, but they were kind of indie small crime films, but he has a beautiful, artful sense of filmmaking with really good use of black and white, lower third cinematography where someone's really small and there's a huge background, just gorgeous. So when I went to Captain Miller, I'm like, how's he going to pull this off? Because it's a bigger story. It's more about, the rebels and colonialism and all that. Absolutely stunning film. Like he brought it, like he came right out of his small indie thing and just really made this incredible film. And I thought the acting was amazing. And again, the cinematography that you're like, whoa, how is he making this happen in this huge film? He's still got that art, So I loved Captain Miller.
And Dhanush was so good.
Yeah. So good.
He's always good, actually.
Always good.
Exactly. We have a new film coming from Dhanush actually next week, Ryan.
Next week.
Yeah. Excited.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yes, Captain Miller is a good choice. I mean, it's a very good film. People have spoken less about it, but it's a really good film.
That's why I wanted to bring it up because I feel like it sort of got lost in a lot of because it came out pretty early. Yes. But when I saw it, mostly because of Matheson, I was like, I really want to bring it up because I think this movie definitely needs to be seen and appreciated on that kind of art house level, and also as a stepping stone for this director what he could go pretty much anywhere now, because he was sort of relegated to small indie, and now it's like he made a big production. It was really beautiful, and I'm rooting for him.
As we are.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so we have spoken about few niches. Now I will talk about a very obvious one, Manjubil Boys. I mean, loved the film.
Oh yeah,
Loved the film. I mean, again, a film. I mean, when we spoke about the film in our review, we spoke about, it kind of reminds of this bonding that we have overall in the Malayalam film industry. Everyone is a friend. Everyone is coming to the other's party. There is another director coming and doing just a bit of a, cameo role in another film. I mean, that bonding of the friends that they show across the first half, almost the first half, that is. I mean, it's like friends for life. And then the way they use this song from another Tamil movie, they use the song, the camera work, the way the caves are shown, and then the whole lifting sequence. Amazing film. It's one film. If you have to talk about it, just tell me the gist of the film. It's so simple. It's kind of a two-liner. But it's an experience to watch it. And, as all good films are, it's more about the visuals. It's more about the way things flow rather than the plot or the storyline or the twists. And it's beautiful, beautiful film.
Really is. And I like how it started, and you weren't really prepared for where it was going to go. Like you said, it's like the kids all hanging together. I mean, if you know the true story, you know where it's going to end up. I guess it was a true story. But when you're watching it, you're like, oh, everybody's just having fun. Like they don't really prepare you for the tonal shift. So I thought that was a really, really well done in that film.
And I will talk about the larger point which Arup you touched about, that Malayalam cinema keeps on churning these movies which will not be mainstream in any other industry.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Manjumal Boys in Hindi or any other industry to be a mainstream blockbuster for that, or for that matter, even Aavesham, which they are trying to adapt, which they will adapt in a Hindi movie, but they will never do it first. It is it is never going to happen. So it's amazing that the sort of movies which are mainstream in Malayalam cinema and the kind of movies what we get to watch. And it happens over and over again across the years, and we have been seeing this for quite a few years now, isn't it? Like the kind of movies which are.
I mean, I think this is 1 year where Malayalam cinema is actually getting that recognitions from all circles. They have done great films over years now, more than a decade now, actually. But now, pan India, as we say, is slowly waking up
Such a made-up word, really.
Pan India.
It is.
Pan India.
I mean, they're waking up to, this mine of great movies that's there in Malayalam cinema. And I hope it continues. I mean, they really deserve everything possible. Because I think they do not think about those numbers, like I have to make a movie of 100 crore, 200 crore, 500 crore. And then in the hindsight, think about what should be the movie, who should be the actors and all. The plot, the story, the characters come first. And if it hits that box office numbers, it's fine. If it does not, that's okay as well. So it's very different from the other industries, actually.
Yeah. I would put them in kind of the almost indie art house category if we talk about in like American genre terms, because they bring in the thoughtfulness and the emotional aspect, and they're not big and flashy. It's more like feeling real and grounded, and more about the screenplay and the writing. And so that was the great discovery for me. Like when I discovered Indian films, is I saw the big spectacles first, things like Bahubali and RR and War, and wow, Indian films are crazy. And then when I discovered Malayalam films, I'm like, they can also be like incredibly artful and great and dramatic and emotional. So it's funny to see that distinction just through the languages in their film industries. I really appreciate that.
Right.
Yes, I mean, you're so right. And just when you said that, I remember that superhero movie that came out in Malayalam cinema a couple of years back, Mindal Murali, which is, I don't know whether it's a superhero movie, but it has its own pathos, It is, you have that like subtle backstory of the villain, and then
homegrown superhero.
I love that.
And
so good.
It is a superhero movie, but it's truly Malayalam superhero movie. You get that from it, right? And so
grounded,
which is incredible.
Yeah, really.
Okay. With my turn, I would go to the most violent Indian film. that is my pick.
Oh, wait, what could it be?
Oh, what could it be?
What could it be? I was hoping someone was going to bring this one in.
Of course, yes. We are talking about Kill, you guys.
Kill.
And we had a discussion on it, but I mean, it is truly incredible to watch an Indian film and enjoy it and like pretend to watch it and then shirk. And when something's happen on the screen, it rarely happens with Indian cinema when violence is concerned. You might cringe in Indian cinema. That's a different issue altogether. But like the real violence and real horror, action horror is so rare. With 105 minutes of like blood pumping through your veins, and you are watching an action thriller. Right. Incredible experience. So yeah, my pick is Kill.
That's great.
And there's a video of us, all three of us together talking about Kill in Cinemondo. Please check that out.
Yes, check our review.
Spoken in detail about the film.
Yeah, I mean, again, I appreciate it for their take on the sort of John Wick kind of genre of like non-stop action, but then they added in a little bit more of that emotion. That was kind of nice to see, just a little bit more context. The deaths mattered. Then the choreography was so good, and like you talked about the sound effects, where it's like you feel the weight of like a bone breaking or someone hitting the ground. It's not just like this smack, and you're not really sure what happens, you know. So yeah, really took it to a next level, I think, action wise. So let's see some more filmmakers try that.
Right.
Is it my turn?
Yes,
it is your turn, Kathy. Yes.
Oh my God, so hard to decide.
Maybe one each, and then
we can close. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and then maybe a quickie, just a list of things we liked, and then so things that got left out, like honorable mentions.
Yes.
I feel like I can't. I'm torn between two, so this is a hard part for me. I think I have a fun one and a not fun one, and so I'm trying to which one I like better. But I guess I'll go with Goat Life, because I feel like that showed an actor taking some huge chances. And I feel like the film really had a great sense of environment and world. And I like that they treated the animals like I feel like a lot of animals are throwaways in films. And I have a big thing about animal violence I don't like. But I feel like in this film, they became like his saving grace. Like they had personalities. They brought in the goats, like Goat Life, it was what kept him going. And so then he was able to persevere. So I just thought there was a lot going on in that movie I really liked. It wasn't necessarily the most fun movie to watch, but I feel like I really appreciated the artistry and again the emotion and the storytelling was really fantastic. Great performance.
It was some experience watching it on the big screen. I mean, visceral, I would say.
Amazing.
I mean, and Prithviraj, I mean, the kind of effort and the kind of everything he has put into this movie. I mean, salute him for all his perseverance.
Oh my God, he does so much good stuff.
Yeah. The music is also so good. Yeah, Rahman.
Yes.
So good.
Yes. Just solid filmmaking. When you see it, you're like, this is an important film. It just felt important, and they did justice to the book. And I loved all the behind the scenes. I love how they had an author talking about the filmmaking process and how it affected him and how it was. Just everything about from promotion to execution. They did a great job.
They did. Really.
It is indeed. Yes.
Yeah.
I think I had nothing more to add, so I'll go.
Nope.
Because you covered it so well. I was thinking, okay, maybe she'll not talk about that. Maybe she'll not.
Maybe it'll be something else. I know I talk about the animals because it's what I do, but it is a Goat Life, so you're gonna get the animal talk. Okay, go ahead.
Absolutely wonderful watch, really, guys. And yes, so that's next to Arup.
Yep.
Okay. So quite a few to choose, but I think I'll go with Nithilan Saminathan's Maharaja. Again, Vijay Sethupathi. I think I'm picking two Vijay Sethupathi.
All right, guys, we have a review of that on our channel, Maharaja. If you haven't checked it out, check it out now. Yeah, continue.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good. I mean, you go to the film with a very different expectation. It turns out to be different. It turns out to be different once, twice, thrice, and it keeps on turning like that. I mean, by the time you get to the climax, you are watching a different film altogether. And the writing, the way the twists are put. A lot of films thrives on twists, but they are for the sake of it. I mean, films gimmicky. But here, each one of them are organic. Love the writing, love the performances. If again, I mean, if someone has not watched Maharaja, it would be a big give off if you talk about the plot. But if tributes are to be given, and there's a bit of a homage to Old Boy even in this movie, it is this way. I mean, there's nothing similar to the premise, nothing similar to any characterization, and yet you have a very similar experience by the end of the film. Vijay Sethupathi, his 50th film, at the top of his game. Amazing movie. I mean, it touches on so many layers and so many subtexts. You just have to watch it. I mean, it's an experience to watch Maharaja. And it also comes with a lot of rewatch value.
Oh, good. Okay.
Definitely one of
on my list.
I think it's also on Netflix now. It's actually on Netflix now.
Ah, even better. Let me write that down. Mm-hmm.
Yes, Maharaja. Maharaja recently came to Netflix, actually. I think it was
this weekend only.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Awesome.
Okay.
All right.
Now, okay, I have to pick one. Let me pick. What about? There are a couple of from which I can choose. Maybe I'll choose Ullu Odko. So I think Ullu Odko is again. I think one of it's a bit of a niche in Malayalam cinema as well. It was a small release, and it is the story of, I would say, dealing with sorrow and grieving and realizing how life is going to work without certain things. So I do not want to give a lot away, but even if you look at the trailer, you will understand that there is this lady Parvati who got married, and then her husband's no more, and now she has to live with her mother-in-law, and
and their secrets.
Both of them have their pieces of secrets which they carry, and the way they are dealing with that, and how once again how womanhood is coming together within that. And you do not once again you judge all the characters while you watch them, so you are not sure because they are, as happens so often with Malayalam cinema, that you do not have like plain black or white characters. Again, they have their own shades of gray, but you get to understand the point of views of each of them: the mother-in-law, the daughter-in-law, the lover. So and all those things come together, and it is one of the most one of the experiences which are going to enjoy watching this film. Yes,
not that enjoy, but enjoy in a different
not
way.
Enjoy. Appreciate.
Yes. I think appreciate is a better word than enjoy.
I mean, if Manjumil Boys was all about brotherhood, Ullu Odko is all about sisterhood. I mean, and they do both in the same year from the same industry. Wow. How good that can be.
So good. All right, I feel like we should throw in a few like honorable mentions, like because I feel like there's so many like I was choosing last time between Hanuman, which I thought was a really great entry into like a superhero origin story. I thought they handled it with a lot of grace, and they knew where to put the money. And the CGI was mostly good, so I enjoyed that. But I have to say, one of the best things that I've seen this year was Ripley. I know it's not Indian, but I'm just saying. That is probably one of the most stunning, like almost like the Mammootty film, gorgeous black and white. They take their time. It's like every shot feels like you could hang it on your wall. It's just gorgeous. And then it has that great, creepy, super forensic, detailed depiction of like committing a crime, getting away with a crime, all the little tiny details that matter or don't matter. And some great use of animals that where they have actual personalities and matter to the plot. So I just threw that in. It's not Indian, but I just wanted to put that in there because it's easy to find, and it's absolutely astounding little series.
Awesome.
Great.
We'll
I think if we have to talk about something outside India, I think I speak for both of us, Shubhadeep. We were blown away by Challengers. It was such a sensual experience. I mean, sports and sensuality coming together, and the performances, and the set pieces, and the climax, the music. I mean, it is some experience. Challengers.
She's a great actress. I love Zendaya.
She's
so good.
Yeah.
I mean, I just imagine all the time her hitting those tennis balls with all that rage in her every time. It was, I think, Challenges was so awesome. Was so awesome. I enjoyed. We wanted to review it, but let's see if we can in some time, or maybe we can discuss it sometime.
It's now on Amazon Prime, I guess. On
Oh, it
rent.
is? Okay.
On rent,
Yeah.
it is on Amazon Prime, and I think in a few days it will come for
It's fantastic.
basic subscription.
Okay, now, since we are talking about non-Indian films, let's talk about Kinds of Kindness by Yorgos Lanthimos, which I watched.
Oh boy.
I have not watched it.
No,
Yes,
I have not seen it.
It hasn't released in India. It has released in the UK and the US.
It looks like a very strange film.
It surely does. It's a second film in a row with Emma Stone. Like I think last year.
Third, I think.
Third, is it? What was the last one?
Oh,
The Favorite. Then
The Favorite.
The
Poor
Favorite. Okay.
Poor Things and Now, Kinds of.
Poor Things, and now this is the one. It's a different, as you said, it's a strange movie like Yorgos Lanthimos movies are. It is like 3 anthologies which come together, and in those 3 different anthologies, there are different stories, but the same actors play different characters in them.
Weird.
You know?
Okay.
Yeah. So when you
Interesting.
it's like watching 3 different plays by the same actors, and it's a different kind of experience when you watch a Yorgos Lanthimos movie. And I find it amazing that he got a Disney backing. You know, Disney backs his cinema. When does that happen with a filmmaker of weird choices?
Especially
Disney,
films like these are like, whoa, okay. Not very Disney friendly.
Yeah, and it is it's a different kind of experience. And I mean, I cannot, even if I try to, I cannot spoil it. That's the thing with the cinema. You even if I tell you the plot of all the 3 of the anthologies, there is no way I can spoil it, because you'll have to go and watch it and you'll experience it in a way. But it's good. It's his stories are always a commentary on the I don't know whether it's the right word, on the futility of existence to a point. All his movies talk about how you are constricted and there is no freedom in anything which you want to do. So it is, again, an extension of his body of work like that.
And just a couple little quickies. Long Legs is out now, which is fantastic.
Oh, cool.
Nick Cage, period. Just got to. I worked on that movie poster. I loved it. And then
congratulations on that. That's awesome.
I didn't do the actual poster, but I did work on it. Unfortunately, hundreds of posters get done for films like this, and only a few get by. But it was my first, I think, Nick Cage movie I actually got to work on, so I was very excited. And then, I just want to put in a little honorable mention for Fall Guy. I know it's like a big, stupid action movie, but we watched that recently.
It has its moments. I like Fall Guy, actually.
It has its moments, and because I've been on sets and I've seen, I know a lot of the people that do stunts, props, like all this stuff. That movie is very accurate. And so they had like actual stunt company that really exists. I think the best part was to see all this crazy stuff, see them faking stunts, then see the fake movie, and then see them do actual action sequences in the movie. So they're getting all meta. Then at the very end, they have, during the credits, how they do the stunts in the movie that were supposed to be real. Like it was, that stuff is really good. And of course, Ryan Gosling already tried. So yeah, it's a big, fun, dumb movie, but it actually hit all the really accurate notes on filmmaking. So I'll give him points for that.
I really liked Fall Guy, though. I mean, I really liked it.
I did too.
It does what it wants to do. I mean, like,
exactly.
What I like the most, there's no pretension, because there's a lot of movies which try to be like something else, and they are pretending to be great things. There's no pretension in Fall Guy. It's a movie out there you go and enjoy. So I'm all for Fall Guy. That's awesome.
Very fun.
I have one
pleasures.
I have one special mention. I think Premalu loved it. I mean, again, something which is absolutely not pretentious. It's pure rom-com. It's the old age rom-com, and loved it. There's nothing great about anything in specific, but everything simple comes together and makes it great. Love the film.
Yeah, these are great. And so you got a little bonus here at the end of all films.
Also, I think we missed one more, which I think we missed. We should have. I think it's Lijo and that is Malayalam Valiban, where we get Lijo and Mohanlal. That you said.
Who's better, Mammootty or Mohanlal? Just want to get the conversation going. Just kidding. No, don't go there. This is like, they're equal. They're totally both great.
Absolutely same. They are
exactly the same.
There's no difference.
We just made a video on Mohanlal, by the way, and love him.
Yes,
so good.
yes,
I love him
yes,
too.
yes. So
Great way to end it.
It's interesting. Yeah, you could. Yeah,
Great.
you guys can.
We can end
You
on a
should-
moody and Allah.
yeah. I
Something
think
that never
that's-
ends.
No,
Yes.
we could go on. We could do a whole episode of that. It would be endless.
Well,
Thank you so much.
I think that's a good point to come to an end. Kathy, thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you for inviting me.
And,
So fun.
And it's awesome to know about all the other works which you do. And I really enjoyed. We really enjoyed this conversation with you, and we really hope that we can have this more often. Like maybe we can.
Let's definitely do it more often. And I'd like to have you even like we can go back and forth on these even other films outside of India. We review,
Sure,
we're
sure.
so it'd be fun just to have
love
fun with that. And
Yeah.
and of course Indian films because they are the best.
I think that's about it.
That's it.
Thank you so much, Kathy. And,
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Kathy.
till
Thank you.
we meet next time. Yeah.